This is the Roxanne Show. Get ready. It's time to rise. To live a more self-directed life, you need to come to really understand who you are, how you are, why you are. You're doing that in your journal. Meditation's also another powerful, but sometimes meditation's hard to, I feel like there's levels to that game. And I think journaling is an easier entry point to get to this place that I'm talking about. And then, meditation is just, it's so complimenting. And it is a standalone, but I recommend it, period. But I'm just saying that I know sometimes that could be a little bit harder for some people. But the journaling, self-directed writing is really, it really opens up the fucking floodgate for you to get to this place where you can pay attention to all the facets of your being in the way that I just expressed, but also going back to the scripts and the narratives. You're really going to be able to look at yourself and look at the perspectives that you are moving through your life with every single day. You become more aware of, are you operating from a more egotistical place? Is it egoic? Are you looking at that from a very, soulful, heart-centric place? You'll be able to discern the difference once you start to get in the habit of knowing yourself, analyzing, learning, witnessing yourself through this methodology that I'm sharing with you. So blank page, day, year, chapter, right? And character, stories, scripts. Now let's move into character, right? Every movie, every book, like there's always characters, right? That's part of having a story. Well, guess what? And I'm sure you've probably heard this, like you're the main character, 2025, main character energy. Totally. But let's talk about what the fuck does that actually mean? Main character. I mean, it sounds cool and big but like, what does that actually mean to you? What are your values? Values actually shape a person's character. So a lot of times this main character energy that social media likes to reel out and make really cool and like, I know I have such an asshole energy saying it, but it's just like, I guess because I live it so much in the deep end, I'm like, that's cool. It's fun. It's main character energy. But what does that actually mean? I want you to really think about the layers of that main character. You are the main character. You're the main character. And guess what? You're also the audience, whether you realize that or not. And that's such an important piece to put in here. You are the audience. Remember that subconscious piece? That's the audience. You're always watching yourself, whether you want to realize it or not. It's actually happening. But to go back to the main character piece, main character isn't just this cool identity. It's actually comprised of what? Your values. What are the attributes? What are the qualities? What are the habits? What are the sort of perspectives? This is the stuff that you want to get clear on. And then we could talk about we can glamorize the main character energy, because now you actually know who the fuck the main character really is, what the main character is actually made of. This is really important information. If you're actually, writing a story, creating a film, whatever, like, it's not just main character energy. It's like, well, what is the main character? Who is that main character? How is that main character showing up every day? What matters to the main character? What does the main character want to experience in her or his story, right? This stuff is crucial. But if you can it's crucial to the outcome. Finish my sentence. If you can start to conceptualize it in this way and have fun with it, and that's ultimately my goal with this methodology too. These are deep subjects, but the idea is giving you this methodology. First of all, it's just creatively fun, but it actually almost it makes it easier to take these big concepts and to put them into practice with an actual tool, using writing as a tool. So let me say this, because I don't know if I even mentioned this. I'm not just asking you to just think about the concepts. I'm actually asking you to write about it too. Go grab a notebook, grab a journal if you don't already, and make this that starting point. And maybe this is going to be helpful to someone who's always wanted to start journaling, but you feel intimidated, you feel overwhelmed, it's never stuck. Well, here's a methodology to actually help you get into it. Think of yourself, think of the scripts, think of, the pages, think of the chapter. What is the genre, and you can mix it up, is this the, chapter where the genre is really focused on your health and the spiritual aspect of your life, or is this like hardcore business mission? Or you get to decide, is it romance? Is it all of the above? I mean, it's up to you, right? But again, see, you're activating your agency to create this reality. This is not to control. We're not controlling here. We always leave room for life to surprise us. We're not trying to go to our journal and write out the next 365 days in the next hour. That's boring. Unless you're actually writing a story or whatever, but I'm talking about like for your life, right? The beauty of life is the mystery unfolding. Every second is a possibility. Every second is a possibility. Your perspective will make that possibility feel exciting, inspiring, and expansive, or fucking scary, contracting, and, uninspiring. It's going to come down to your perspective, right? So what's the main character's perspective on not necessarily knowing what's coming on the next page, because that's called life. We all live in uncertainty, but having a really good idea of how you're directing your energy. This character's directing their energy, their intention, how they intend to show up in the next paragraph, the next day, the next page, right? You have the power to do this. You really do. You have to realize that first, and then you have to start practicing, putting into practice your agency, your, self-awareness, your everyday decision that you're here to experience a life that fills you the fuck up, a fuck yes life. You are here to live your authentic life, not the idea of what your life should be, her idea of what your life should be. Like, no. Your life. You are driven intrinsically, right? You're motivated from within, right? Not external, right? Intrinsic motivation. And all of this becomes more accessible with this methodology, right? Your life that I'm sharing with you right now. Let's talk about challenges, things that come up unexpected, because that's what life does. Let's call it a conflict moment. Again, looking at a challenge now as, okay, it's a moment of conflict. Well, if you're writing your life, again, you're not controlling, but you're directing your energy, you're directing your mindset, you're directing your intention. How do you want this conflict to serve the story? I'm not saying that the ultimate outcome that you want will necessarily happen, but I am saying that energy does fucking create reality. So you're in a much better position when you are keeping your awareness turned the fuck on to look at a challenge as a conflict, not a problem, not like a, whoa, why is me? And I say that with love and empathy. I know there's real challenges, there's real hardships. I know. Trust me, I know. And I'm very firm on this. Your perspective, the story you're telling yourself about that challenge, in this case, we'll call it conflict, is going to determine the experience that comes from it. And whether that experience is going to be something that serves you in the immediate, the long run, both, or not. So it's fun to think about, oh, okay, well, here's a conflict in the story. And by the way, here's another cool thing to add on to it. It's not done. The story is not done. I say this often to some of my friends, like I've said it over the years. It's also built into the method, or it's what supported me to really conceptualize this methodology and formulate it. But sometimes when friends have been going through things, I've said to them, hey, you know, as a writer, something that helps me in real life is when I'm going through something that's really fucking hard, I zoom out and I go, oh, wait, this is just a paragraph in this part of the story, in this scene. This is not the whole thing. There's going to be another sentence after this and another paragraph after this. And then we get to turn the page. We get to turn the page. And that immediately creates relief. I'm not saying it's all figured out, but what it does is it creates space between you and that moment, you and that point of conflict. And it keeps you, it grounds you back into a state of composure where you are always going to be better able to work through any conflict, any challenge. We do not operate great when we are falling apart. We just don't, you know? So if you can zoom out and look at it that way, here's a moment of conflict. What's the story I'm telling myself about this? How does the main character show up to this conflict? What would I like this conflict to offer the story? Even though I know I don't have ultimate control, I'm not attached to an outcome, but I can direct my energy. I can direct my intention, because that is the life that I'm living. I am directing my life. This is my life. This is my story. So I get to play that role. This is so crucial. You know, when you really start to look at your life from this perspective and operate from this mode, I promise you, number one, you feel better, because sometimes, a lot of times, the anxieties, the worries, you know, all of that energy is coming as a result of we feel powerless. We feel like we don't have control, and it's scary to not have control. But ultimately, you know, we live in uncertainty full time. So there's always that happening. And the things that we can control live in this inner world, in our minds. It's this inner world. This is self-mastery at the core. When we can create our inner world to be working for us, we are going to experience a much more harmonious and fulfilling life, period, our external, our reality, right? And so to summarize this and bring it to a close, so just think about this idea of writing your life. Think about whatever year this is for you. I'm recording in 2025. It's chapter 2025. Today is, you know, page 8 for me, right? And who is the character in your story? What is the genre? What's the vibe of the story that you want this chapter to be for you? What makes up the qualities of this main character that is you, right? If you're going through a moment of conflict, what are the stories that you're telling yourself about that? What are the stories that you're telling yourself about you? Think about the whole scripting narrative story part that I shared with you in this episode. Write all this out. You're going through a conflict. What could possibly be beneficial? Like, what great outcome could possibly come on that next page from this? That might be really hard to conceptualize. I totally fucking get it, but it's still worth asking yourself. Most people wouldn't even do that because you're so consumed by the overwhelm. But if you could just ask yourself that question, sometimes that's a bit of a lighthouse to just get you through the dark. Just ask, because you don't know what will come if you ask yourself that question. Well, what could be What could be the fucking ultimate plot twist? Like, oh shit, didn't see that coming. This looked like it was going to be a really not great situation. And in the moment, it kind of wasn't. But damn, it ended up being incredible. The turnaround, the comeback. My favorite part of the story. I'm a Rocky Balboa girl for the fucking rest of my life. Is love Rocky, love the fucking comeback story, the get up story, And so think about that for you. Think about everything I said for you, but don't just think about it. Take to the pen, go to the pages. Your life is filled with pages and you are creating your life. The goal is to direct your life with heart, with soul, with intention, with authenticity. And you have the power to do that. And I hope that what I shared with you today will at least set you off in that direction to just think of your life that way. But beyond that, I would love for you to activate this methodology. And if you want to go deeper on it, come hang out with me in Substack, my fucking favorite place online. It is where you can actually become a member of my Substack. We do writing challenges 2 a quarter. So all this self-directed writing, the stuff I'm telling you, this is going down with me mentoring you throughout the process in Substack, in addition to my writing that lives there. So we do live calls. It's so much fun. I mean, it's changing lives. I'm very honored to say that, but it has changed the lives of women who are in there doing the work. You got to do the work though, right? You got to be willing to do the work, but you being willing to do the work, I'm in your corner. Fucking game on. Let's go. So if you want to come hang out with me on Substack, link is in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, or it's in my show notes, or it's ROXANNESAFFAIE.com. Substack. Come hang out with me there. Let's get this writing your life dialed in, and that whole main character energy will have a whole different vibe. Now that I've said it like this, right? Now we can see those reels. No, but it will really mean something to you of deep value because you actually know who the fuck the main character is. And this main character, that is you are so synthesized with all of the attributes and the qualities and the values, and it's showing up and it's creating your reality. That's what the power of pen and page will actually really do. So coming out with me on Substack, let me know what you think of this episode, this methodology. Thank you for spending the time here with me. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for listening, you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review.